Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So today we have a Jackson JS32 DKA. This is a left-handed version, and it's in what they call a bright blue, which I think is pretty nice. It's actually one of my favorite shades of blue. So I saw this at Long and McQuaid, of course, my favorite candy store, and I've been playing with it off and on, and it really attracted me with the color of the guitar and, of course, the body shape, and, headstock is pretty sick. What didn't really thrill me, of course, was the fact it has a Floyd Rose on it, and these things can tend to be a nightmare. Let me just try and turn down the volume here for the mic. I had a Floyd Rose system once before. Back in around 85, 86, I had a Yamaha RGX guitar, and it came with a Floyd, and it was when Floyd's first came out on the market, and it was a nightmare to set it up, to keep it in tune. I mean, the thing was just horrifying. So needless to say, I did depart with that guitar as much as I loved it, and it cost me a lot of money. Back in the day, that guitar was around $700, and this is Canadian, of course. As always, I'm Canadian. And I kind of swore off Floyd's after that. Now, back then, of course, we also didn't have YouTube to help us out with guys who are pros at setting up Floyd Roses. So now we do. So I figured, well, you know what? I'm going to give a Floyd another chance because I really like the guitar. And they don't make that many lefties at Jackson, at least not that I've been able to find. And Long & McQuaid does carry a number of them, but this is their cheapest one, and this was about $3.99. Canadian, which I think is a really nice deal. It's got some nice fat jumbo frets on it. It is 24 frets. The length of the guitar overall, it's almost, it is full length, but it kind of feels more of a shorter scale for a 24 fret, which is fine by me. I don't mind at all. I have nothing against shorter scale, necks and whatnot, but either way, it does come with a package of goodies. You get, of course, your tremolo arm, which you have to mount on the Floyd. Gives you a warranty card and manual, and they give you a little bit of information on about, they tell you some of the basics on how you go about restringing the thing so that, you don't mess it up, and that sort of jazz. Now, this one, the bridge is actually sitting up about probably close to an eighth, and they show it sitting actually flat. Now the guitar does come with 942s stock from the factory. These are the original strings for now. When I get up the guts and courage to change the strings, I'll be doing that, and I'm going to recommend to you guys what my thought process is, and that's to do one string at a time, and this way you shouldn't have too much trouble with restringing. They do suggest putting a stack of business cards under the bridge or something that will keep the bridge level, okay? And that is their suggestion. But they also give you all the specs for the pickups on this thing, the string heights, the bass side, treble side, all of that jazz. It's all in here, and it's like, wow. That's really cool. They even tell you about neck relief for a bass guitar or a regular guitar, what they do, and so on and so on. Now, these are their recommendations, of course. The setup on this thing right out of the box is really nice. Now, I didn't do an unboxing because they didn't have the original box, so they had a Fender Squier box for it, and it's kind of like, I'm not going to unbox this thing. It's a Squier box, Besides, it's a guitar, right? So either way, new guitar day. And anyways, so I got to thinking about it today, and I'm like, well, I think I can deal with this, I did a little bit of an intonation check with a snark tuner, which I don't trust them 100% for intonation, so I am going to double check it against my Boss board, but I'm pretty sure it's close, it's not bang on, but it's pretty close. It's close enough, I think, so maybe I won't mess with the intonation. We'll see what the Boss tuner says of how far out it really is, because I've been using that lately for setting up electric guitars with, and it is like really accurate, like super accurate for setting up intonation. And this is on the GT100 board, in case you're wondering what board. But anyways, I've got an acoustic simulator on this thing right now. And so we're going to start with that. And of course, controls our dime to the max. And we're going to start with the bridge pickup. And then of course we'll rotate, you know, middle and neck position. Now it is dual humbuckers. These I guess are Jackson's own pickups, I would assume. They have the Jackson name on them. So like I said, I don't know a ton load about the guitar. The fretboard is it's called Amaranth, I believe it was called. So it's not rosewood, it's not ebony. It's called Amaranth, whatever that's supposed to mean. Body's made out of poplar. Neck, of course, is maple. You know, your usual stuff. Bound fretboard, not a bad thing. You know, very, very smooth. The fretwork on this is actually quite amazing for a $400 guitar. There's like no buzzing, so I'm kind of like, that's pretty impressive. You know, like none yet. It hasn't fully acclimated to my house, so we'll see if any buzzing does occur. But at the store, it was fine. So, anyways, let's give this thing a little spin. Now that's the acoustic sim, and it says it's acoustic sim straight, so it's not a full out acoustic sim. There is what's called natural clean, and it's got a little bit of effects in it, so it's not totally clean, I guess. And no, the coils do not split. At least, nope. So no coil splitting on this guitar. Yay! Not against it. I have guitars that have that already. Okay, so some clean, some acoustic sim type thing. This next one's called high gain stack. Now I'm not messing with the whammy bar right now. When I mess around with the last effect, then we'll mess with the whammy bar. The strings are factory, so they're kind of sort of half punked, you know what I mean? They're not the best strings. They're going to need to be changed and stretched and changed and stretched. And apparently that's a bit of a process according to the manual. So, yeah, that's another reason why I didn't change the strings ahead of time, because this thing would not stay in tune for very long at all if I did that. So I'm going to play with these strings for a couple of days, then I'll probably change them. So anyways, let's play a little bit with this. It's called high gain stack. That was the neck. Let's go to the middle. We're gonna go in reverse. And the bridge. It's got pretty good sustain on her too. Alright, let's try power metal riff, they call it. Start at the bridge this time. So, if you notice yourself a little bit out of tune, give the tremolo a little yank back, and it can actually bring it back in. It's kind of like the string pull trick that Scott Grove showed us all on his channel. And that trick actually works, by the way, pretty efficiently most of the time. Okay, so let me spin around here, and I'm going to see what else we can find for sound of some sort. Overdrive 1 plus distortion. Yeah, it's whacked out of tune a bit. Alright, let's check the tuning with the, wow, that error down. So I'm using the tuner on the GT. Now you have to tune this thing at the bridge once it's set up. So you gotta, when you do your initial tune, you gotta set the dials back tall enough that you'll have room to actually play. But the tuning trick I found with this thing is you gotta tune it not a half step down completely, but probably about 30 cents roughly below each string, and that should give you the play room for tuning for a while. That's actually up a little. They are kind of a finicky system, I'll say that. But apparently once you've got them set good, they're really good and solid. Well, according to 5th fret tuning, that should be pretty much where it should be. I think that's out just a bit. Just a little bit. I would say once you use whatever tuner, I would probably harmonically check your tuning, which is pretty easy. It's just a matter of putting just hovering your finger over the harmonic on the fret. This would be 7 to 5. So 7th on the A, and the 5th fret, of course, on the E. And listen to how much of that. If it's very mild, then you're okay. If it's not, then you're going to have to adjust. But make sure at least that your E string is already in tune properly before you try doing harmonic tuning. So you got to make sure that's correct. And you can do that through each of the strings until you get down to your first, second, your G and B string is going to be different for the harmonic, and your B and E are going to be different for their harmonic. Otherwise, the rest of it you should be fine. So. That's out. So you can see Floyd's are a little bit of a pain. They can be. Yeah, the G was out. There we go. And And the D is out a bit. So I guess the strings on this are not been stretched at all. Which does make a difference in how well this sucker is going to stay tuned. So they are a bit of a pain. That's better. That's more where it should be. So, anyways, guys, just a bit of a demo for you guys. I don't really want to do a review at this point. So, basically, new guitar day, checking this thing over. I do like the guitar, okay? I really do, otherwise I wouldn't have spent the money and got it, okay? Like I said, the Floyd was the only thing that was kind of making me hem and haw a lot, and I was kind of like, do I really want to get involved with a flippin' Floyd again? You know what I mean? They're a love-hate relationship. You ask anybody who's got a Floyd, well, almost anybody, because some guys, you know, they really know the Floyd well enough that they will say all the time, I don't get problems, I've never had a problem. Yeah, well, you did before you learned how to set it up right, so stop the lying, right? And that's how I kind of talk with those guys, because I tell them basically, you're lying because, you know, you did have problems before you mastered the art of setting these things up, right? And we all go through that, right? It's just a matter of, you know, do you really want to finickle with this thing till you learn it? And, you know, I say, you know, if it's that good of a system, which it has been proven to be a really good system over the years, you know, it's just you got to set them up, you got to dial them in, you know, and once you do, they're really good. And I figured, well, you know what? I can set up a Strat with a floating system, or I can deck them, or, you know, even my Cort's got a ability to be a full floater, but that's a whole different system than a Floyd, right? Totally different. And so the Floyds are just, they're a weird cat is what they are. And but once you got them dialed in and set up right, then, you know, it's just a matter of fine tuning, you know, and eventually you'll remember where those sweet spots are to set this, you know, when you tune. Now, here's the thing with Floyds too, just in case you're not aware, before you try messing with the tuners, make sure you unlock each one of these. Give them a little bit of slack. They don't need a lot, but, you know, probably about maybe 2 or 3 turns of looseness, so that they're just loose, and then you'll have enough play there that the strings will move in and out freely to tune them. So you will have to tune it up, and but before you tune anything here, make sure you back these up enough that it's going to give you enough playroom, because these are going to be pushing down to bring you back up in tune, or maybe you have to go down depending on how things went with whatever you did, and it got knocked out, right? So these are pretty finite tuners, bottom line, at the bridge side. So you got to figure out where that height sweet spot's going to be. Once you do, and it's going to be different for every guitar, even if they're 2 guitars the same, it will be different. But once you figure it out, then you're pretty much golden at that point. So anyways, that's my my demo of this thing, and so far I got to tell you, I'm really loving the guitar. I really think it was worthwhile getting, and the high output pickups are really nice. I will be able to, in the next while, probably in a few, maybe after Christmas at some point, I will do a video where we are going to crank this sucker up really good. So you'll be able to really hear it wail in here. But in the meantime, there's my phone ringing, and I got to go anyways, but that's okay. Oh, phone stopped. Good, somebody got it. Yeah, it's just, it is a really nice guitar. I'm really impressed with it so far. So that works. And I will definitely be getting used to this. And I got to tell you, I love this blue. There's only 2 colors I would have wanted. That's this one, which I got, or they have one that's an all-natural. So it's just a natural wood is all it is. And it's like, I saw that one. I'm like, can I get that in lefty? I don't know. Long McQuaid didn't have it on their site, so, and I didn't bother to ask because it's like, I really, really like the blue though, because that's really sweet. So I love it. It's just a beautiful finish on it. I can't flaw the guitar. It's really nice. It does have a little bit of a wide neck to it, but it is a thin neck, not overly thin. But it is a bit of a wider neck, but that's okay too. It's not a big deal. I can wrap my hands around this neck, so it's not a huge deal for me for playing it. I don't know what the radius is. I think it should be in here somewhere, but it's not really important for today's video. Anyhow, we'll go over that when I do the review. Today was just demo day, show it off. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and for sticking around too. I mean, I know it's been like 26, 27 minutes, so I'll let you go, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.